And the show ended with a contract signing between Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura for their championship match at TakeOver Toronto. They had Nakamura in the ring surrounded by a bunch of security guards. Joe came out. He set a table up. This was unique. He set his own table up on the stage. So he wanted to keep his distance from Nakamura, and Joe was such an asshole here. You know, I love the way that Joe just completely disrespects Regal, and Regal just takes it. He tells Regal, I want you to bring me the contract. You're going to walk that contract up to me, and I'll sign it here. And Regal is awesome, like, you know, with his facial expressions and how disgusted he is. And he takes the contract and he walks it up to Joe, and Joe signs it. And Nakamura goes to sign the contract and does, and then he starts beating up security guards left and right. He's laying waste to everybody in the ring. I think Joe tried to, or he teased that he was going to come down, but he stayed put on the stage while Nakamura beat the hell out of everybody in the ring until they were all gone. And that was the final. I don't know that was the final bill. We got one more show. There's one more NXT show this Wednesday before TakeOver. But I'm looking forward to that match. I think that should be a hard-hitting match between Samoa Joe and Nakamura. And, you know, Joe's been down there for so long, and I suspect they're not taking the title off Nakamura. And so you assume that Nakamura wins. And it begs the question, what do you do with Joe? I think Joe has done all he can do in NXT. I think he deserves a shot on the main roster. God knows the main roster could use him on either brand. Probably Raw, but I almost don't even want him to go to Raw. And, you know, they're going to be in Toronto. They've got a big pay-per-view the next night. If Joe loses on Saturday, who's to say he can't show up on Sunday? I don't know what he would do. I saw Jim Ross pitch a pretty innovative idea in his blog about having Joe interfere. I think that was the idea, about having Joe interfere in the Brock Goldberg match and setting something up maybe with Lesnar and Joe for WrestleMania. And I've heard a lot of people talk about that, and I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe would be a hell of a match, and it goes to what I was saying before about adding realism to it and cutting promos in those video packages, and I think Joe would be awesome in that role. But you can go any number of different ways with Joe. You can have Joe out there to attack, you know, Seth Rollins or something, you know, for Team Raw, kind of throw a monkey wrench into that thing, and maybe at some point we find out that Triple H, who can't be bothered to show up on TV, Joe being one of his key guys on NXT, maybe we find out that he ends up on Raw as the hired gun of Triple H. You know, if they don't want to do a Triple H Rollins match for a while, then maybe you do something with Rollins and Joe for a while. And that's an idea that I pitched a long, long time ago. I think I might have pitched it last year when I was doing my predictions for 2017. Or for 2016, I should say. And I think actually that might have been one of the ideas for this year that I pitched for the Rumble, where Joe would debut in the Rumble or something like that. And he would be like a hired assassin for Triple H because he's one of Triple H's NXT guys. And he can go to WrestleMania. And yeah, I mean, I would love to see Joe called up to the main roster ASAP because there's nothing left for him to do in NXT. And I think he deserves a shot. And I suspect he's not winning, you know, next weekend.